Hello again. Having profiled engines, we can now have a look at building consists or double headers as we would call it in this country. I'm going to use these two particular engines because they've got different diameter driving wheels and they both have sound chips, so that should make things interesting. The easiest place to actually build the consist is to use in the software RR&Co a block and assign initially a engine to the block. So I've selected the block that I'm going to build. I'm going to take this 464 tank engine and indicate which direction it's travelling in. I'll leave the block still selected, but now I can actually modify this by going to the train menu and coming down to train set and across to change train set. In the styler box I see already the engine I've assigned, but I want to add another one to make up the consist. So here's the 210-2, I'll add it, and notice that I can toggle the direction, so if I want I can have them facing opposite directions. So now we see rather pale pictures of both of the engines in this particular block. I've already assigned the train windows to the two engines I'm interested in, and using the control to drive the train forward, I can see that the indicator of speed moves together. One train is travelling forward and one is travelling backwards. But they're both responding to the one control. If we come back to real life, i.e. the model, then a good way of testing how these are operating is to place the engines together but separated on the track and run the train window indicator for speed and see if the distance between the two engines is maintained. All looks well to me, so therefore when we actually couple the engines together we have a fair understanding that neither one is pushing too hard or pulling too hard. So let's run it again as a pair. So now we can see that there's different diameter driving wheels, and therefore as they both have got sound chips, and if they're correctly adjusted, then we should see completely different chuffs, as it were, as these engines proceed further down the track. Here's a rake of carriages that I'm going to drive with the paired engines. So the back-to-back, the engines are pushing the carriages into the station. Assuming all the passengers have assembled onto this quite short 3-carriage rake, bearing in mind the size of my layout, it's the longest I can actually make up. And here's the back-to-back engines at the beginning. So if we set this off on the schedule, a rather fast start in my opinion, probably because we've got 2 engines and only 3 carriages. But nevertheless, this is an express. It arrives at the next platform station. And since it's on a schedule, it stops here. Here's the start of another double header, using two Class 76 steam engines. One's a brand new Fleischmann complete with sound chip. This one I acquired second hand, which you can see has been nicely aged, and although it's got a chip, it hasn't got any sound. But we're going to run the two together. I'm going to run them back to back so the drivers can chat across the gap. And here they are on the layout, setting off with a set of three-wheel short coaches. I think the steam engines look really great as double headers because of seeing the complications of the wheels and the connection rods, whereas electric engines and diesels are rather boring. This is heading back to the top station. Well, that was just a short demonstration of consists. Hope you found it of interest, not too boring. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.